Good morning, listeners. Today, we are continuing our path on entrepreneurial experts who have developed from nothing to something today. The reason being, we want our youth to take a clue from how people have worked and made their business a big success. Today, we are very lucky to have with us Mr. Maxie Lewis, who is the Managing Director of Surekleen Private Limited. His enterprise is a laundry service providing services to the hotel industry. You will hear more now as I speak to Mr. Max Lewis. Mr. Max Lewis, thank you first and foremost for sparing the time to come here today. It was very kind of you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You are now a very well-known figure in the hotel industry for providing laundry services. But before we go into what is happening today, tell us how it all started. The reason I'm asking you this question is youth normally feel frightened to get into business. And so we want to know how you started it all, how many problems and challenges you face, so that the youth listening to this program will say, if Max can do it, or Maxie can do it, I can do it.
Yes.
So please tell us more.
When I grew up in Mumbai, and after finishing my education, I got into service with Mahindras and Mahindras, and then fourth year with Mahindras and Mahindras, and the next year, following year, the Otis absorbed me. During that time, I was very young and I was very playful. I used to play hockey for Mahindras a little bit.
Right, okay.
And then I started playing cricket for Otis Elevators on a full-time basis. So though I was from the electrical department, I worked there for nearly 6 years.
All right.
And during that time, I thought, why not I do something for myself? Because this was going to be a routine job for me, going to work for a 9-to-5 job, coming home, and that's it. So I decided that I need to do something different. During that time, Mumbai was, today it's totally different now. It's very crowded, and I decided to move down to Goa to start something different. No. And during that time, aquaculture was the blue chip.
Okay.
It was just coming up. So I thought, why not start aquaculture? And Goa is the best place. We have the best land and the good water and all those things. When we came here to Goa, I realized it was not easy getting the money. I didn't have the money that most of them would be privileged to have, but I decided, I had the conviction to go ahead with my project, so I came down to Goa. And aquaculture was in an infant stage. I tried all my luck with the banks to get the loan, eventually got a small bit of loan, and I started this project. The first year was lovely, God's grace, and it was lovely that we got a good crop. During that time, wise or unwise, I got married, and I went back to work on the farm again.
All right.
And second year, we had a calamity of natural disaster, a lot of rain and overshadowed. My crop was lost, so I lost money. And for that reason, to compensate the loss, I started a small restaurant.
All right, okay.
Something, because I needed to survive. I wanted to take my dreams forward. So, ran the restaurant, paid back the loans. I thought it was tough. There was no support from the government. And so, I decided to start something different. And laundry is a subject that came to me because my dad was into laundry business.
Okay.
And but it was not the setup that I have it. He was more into retail.
Okay.
So I thought of doing something different here in Goa. And Goa being a tourist destination, laundry was one of the main industries, a support industry, the ancillary unit to all the hotels.
Right, okay.
And when I did my research, I didn't find so much of good laundries here who could service high quality linen, all those things. So I decided to start a laundry, industrial laundry. But I made this project so much, I studied, because there's no institute in India regarding laundry services or getting into laundry. There's only textiles, but no laundry as such. So I did a lot of research. I managed to put everything on paper.
Right, okay.
But when you go to the banks, those days there were no much. Like EDC was not so active, and the banks would not give loans to just anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
After doing the research, I did everything to go to the bank, but the bank refused to give it to me. Most of the banks threw me out. But I had the determination and the conviction to take this project forward. In the end, I landed with State Bank of India. They said that they would fund me, but eventually they funded me only 50%.
Okay.
So as an entrepreneur, you got to go through all the rigmaroles of life and getting things together. So the State Bank of India gave me 50% of what I needed. It was a 1 crore project. And in fact, the first thing the bank fellow told me, are you come to cheat the bank? Because it's such a big project and laundry was not thought of in such a big scale. Yeah. But State Bank gave me 50% and then the rest of the 50% I had to manage from financial institutions.
Okay, right.
So that's how this project came into...
And then which was the first industry you serviced?
Yeah, we did a small consultation with one of the hotels here, but we only gave a consultation, but it didn't materialize into a project. Okay. But in 1999, Marriott was planning to set it up, set up their hotel here, and during our interaction with the GMs, they asked me whether you can set up a laundry. Though I was short on funds and all those things, Marriott told me, yes, I need a state-of-art laundry with total imported machinery, and I said, okay, I'll do it for you. So I said I would do it for you, but at the back of my mind, I had my things that I had to make the funds available. So this was how I went with the banks. But in the support system was so much that the Marriott decided to give me a small advance. Because I didn't have enough money to put a seed money to the bank.
That's right, exactly.
And Marriott supported me with a lump sum of advance, and that's how I put it with the bank and got it going. And Marriott was my first customer, and I still service Marriott for the last 20 years.
Wow, 20 years and serving Marriott Hotel. So how many hotels do you service now then?
Today we are servicing more than 75 hotels.
75 hotels?
Yeah. It goes on to nearly about 25 tons an hour in linen and about 7,000 to 8,000 uniforms.
So you must be having a big enterprise.
Yes.
Can you tell us what exactly is in that enterprise so that people understand what this laundry service is all about?
When we started, it was a small, we went in for washer extractors. We went in for machinery that was regular but in large, bigger in size.
Yeah, that's right.
So we had to load it physically, we had to load it, unload it. I had to put it for drying and then take it for ironing and all those things. But today, technology has evolved, and when things are going well, the banks also support you down the line.
That's right.
So today the bankers and all support us well. So we've gone for the latest technology where it's called a tunnel wash, where you have machines which is multiple functions and multiple capacities. And you have...
So let us say you're doing bed sheets, just for an example. What is the process for the bed sheet to come from the first stage to the ironing stage and back to the hotel?
See, now with the new technology, the linen comes in, my person will just segregate it, put it on a conveyor, he puts in a customer number and item number. Every item has a number, like a bed sheet, the towels, pool towels, and all these things have an item number. So he will put the customer number and item number, puts it on the conveyor, and his job is done. It goes automated into the washing machines. Now these washing machines have got 13 compartments. Earlier you used to have machines with one compartment. The one we have is 13 compartments. It transfers by itself automated. It gets into the extraction stage, takes it to the dryers, takes it with no man handle. So it goes into the dryers. After the drying section, it bifurcates. If it's a bed sheet, it goes to the ironing stages. And if it's a towel, it goes to the folding stage. So the bed sheets that come to the ironing stage, as we just fed into the feeder of the ironer, the bed sheet is wet. It dries, irons, folds and comes out.
Folds also?
Definitely.
Oh, well, I think we will do that because this is something that we all have to learn. Learn how modern industry is faring. And then you see where we have reached today in modern technology. This must have cost you a bundle.
Yes, it's a lot. Initially when we started the project, it was just 2 washing machines and all. It was just 1 crore and something. But I'll tell you one thing. Though we have machines made in India, they're not of a very high quality. I don't know why. We make rockets.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
We don't make washing machines of high caliber. So we had to import the machines. These machines run 24 hours. And that was the thing that we went in for best of machinery. Cost me 1 crore then, but today eventually over the years, every 3 years we expand our business. It's gone to more than 25 odd crores.
Wow. So you must be having very minimal manpower in that case.
Yes. No, manpower we do require. You know, there are some things that we still work on manual. The machines at the factory stage, the labor is less. Yes. But we have something called a delivery and pickup systems. So all my vehicles that go out, I have more than about 60 people that going out and coming in.
Every day?
Every day. For the delivery side.
So these 75 hotels are spread all over Goa?
All over Goa.
So you must be having a lot of vehicles then to reach?
Vehicles. We have about 18 vehicles.
80?
18.
18?
Big tempo trucks.
Okay. Tempo trucks. Okay. Then they must be again compartmentalized.
Stacked and everything for each hotel. If there is a large hotel, we dedicate a vehicle to the hotel. And if it's smaller hotels, we send in.
So how many large hotels do you have then?
We have about 20 large hotels which are more than 100 rooms hotel, 150, 200 rooms hotels. And the rest of the hotels are 75 to 100.
So how many tons do you process per day, you said?
On a good day, on a good season, it's more than 28 tons. And if it's a low season, it's 20 odds.
20 tons of clothes. My goodness me, that's incredible, absolutely incredible. Now, these machines come from abroad.
Yeah.
Where, from which part of the world?
Initially, we had gone in for all American machines, but American machines, we had, they're more gasless, energy gasless. But we switched over to European machines, which are all from Germany now.
Okay.
So most of our machines come from only Germany.
All right, and they are much better than...
They are much better. The carbon footprint is much lower. It comes to electricity, water and everything.
And suppose something goes wrong with that machine?
To our good luck that I have my brother and myself, we are both technical guys, so we do servicing.
Oh, I see. So you do it yourself?
Yes.
My goodness me.
Because we don't have a support system for the machinery we have bought. There's no dealer yet.
All right.
For certain machines that we have.
That's absolutely unbelievable. My goodness me. Now, if a youth has an idea, you know, he doesn't have money, but he has an idea, what do you think he should do to progress the idea to become an entrepreneur himself? What is your advice?
I feel being an entrepreneur, you need to be mentally very strong, focused, have an idea, and work on it, I would feel. Today's youngsters need to work more harder.
Yeah.
You know? Things come easy for them, and today, to their good luck, there are financial institutes and everybody who's there to support. But this idea needs to keep burning.
And how does one keep that idea burning?
Yeah, they need to be focused into what you want to do, what you want to be in life. It depends on the family also,
right? Okay.
How they support their children, and I think so. That's the best way to take things forward.
Of course, now there is EDC, and there's also an institute called CIBA, which helps students to understand business and go through the process of learning how to get monies and machinery and whatnot. Is that, to your mind, something that the young entrepreneur should go in for to EDC and get some advice, or do you think he should just get on with it?
Today, the students and the entrepreneurs have a lot of choice. Okay, CIBA is there, which helps you. There's an incubation center, and then there's EDC, which gives you a lot of. There's scope for them.
Yeah, that's right.
They have a study cell.
That's right.
Who can help you out with their projects. If their projects are there, go to the incubation center. They can help you out, develop whatever you want. During our time, we didn't have all those facilities. So we had to work extra harder to research and get things done.
Okay.
But today, the students should make use of CIBA and as well as EDC. Loans are much easier to get. Only thing they should be focused to doing things.
Would you say to a person, let's say he's an engineer or he's an MBA student or whatever, and would you say that it is nice to work for a few years and then dive into business? What do you think?
I would prefer the students should, after finishing their college or something, they should work a little while.
Okay.
They should work a little while, get an exposure. Being an entrepreneur is just not ideas that you have to take your project forward.
Yeah.
It involves so many other departments that you need to know basic stuff, like the development stage, the finance, where you need to know a little bit of finance, how you approach the bank. And ultimately, it's you. You take the consultants. You got to give the inputs to make the project going. Maybe a consultant will do a project, but all the inputs has to be given by you. So you need to know a little bit of finance, little bit of technical aspect into getting the project going.
That's right.
That's how you take it forward.
Now, one of the things that is happening in our country today, if I have understood it right, our youth are looking for jobs and there are no jobs. Okay. Now, is our education system geared towards finding a job or geared towards entrepreneurship?
Our education system needs to be tweaked a little bit. If you ask me, during our time, okay, now it's much better off because now you have vocational trades. I feel you should promote more vocational trades in school. As a youngster, sometimes we learn in school, whatever we learn in school, most of the things we don't even put to use. I feel in school education, initially, yes, you need to finish the basics. As they get into college section, I feel the institute should see where their interest lies and give them more option in different streams that they want to get into.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? What are those options that you're thinking of?
See, in a vocational trade, see now, I think so Xavier's has certain vocational trades which they get you into technical side, or whether you want to get into the financial side of banking and all these things. So they train you based on that. It's not basically science, commerce and arts. So they have a vocational trade where they have practical they have an exposure to going to industrial. And then they decide what they want to do, whether this industry suits me, whether I want to get into something. They need to get a first-hand knowledge about the industry. Whether it's financial institute or an industry, that's how the idea develops.
Right. Okay, let's shift a little bit towards your other interests. I believe you're the chairman of the American Heart Foundation. Laundry, Heart Foundation?
The business is different. You got to do something for the society.
Okay, right.
And if God has given you so much, you got to do something back in return.
All right.
So this is a social institute, a social trust. In fact, they want to do something to the community at large in Goa.
Right.
They started off with Goan doctors who have educated themselves in America. Many of them, they work at Dr. Hopkins hospitals, all the hospitals. They are the top cardio people
in America.
In America,
right.
They got together, and some Goans got together. They said we need to do something for Goa. So they started this small trust. They funded this trust by themselves and by having events, and they transferred certain funds to Goa, where they wanted to do something in the cardiac division. So I said they set it up here in Goa with JMG Hospital. They got a cardiac person. They set up the full stress test with the echo, with all the tests to this at a very, very, very nominal price. And people who can't afford need not pay. So you do all the tests, and if there's any major things to be done, we even send their papers to USA to the doctors to get consultation, whether it's needed second opinion, and then we give them, we channelize them where they need to go and what they need to do.
Wow, that's incredible. Did you hear this? You can go for this test, and if you just can't afford it, they do it free for you. And if there's a need for a second opinion, they actually send the papers to America to get an opinion from our Goan doctors there. And they send it back and say, okay, probably you got to do this, 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 and the other. That's quite incredible, isn't it? And today, the American Heart Foundation is in Panjim at CMM. Am I right? Okay. Now, how does CMM do it? Is it being done, what you would say, professionally, or are they happy with it?
CMM is an hospital by itself.
Yeah,
they have a trust by themselves, but they have been very kind to give us space initially. Though it was a hospital of theirs, they had given us space to run our
division.
So we had people coming in to do their tests with us. Right. And if at all any test not available at CMM, they used to do it with us also. But eventually, you know, the Menezes Trust, we are working out with them to have synergy between American Heart Foundation and CMM, and we plan to have one major laboratory where we can cater to both the people.
All right.
So we can do the charity side from American Heart Foundation. They can run their other things.
So there are a lot of plans in the offing.
A lot to do for the society.
Very fantastic. Well, Mr. Lewis, I cannot say enough to say thank you for you coming here, because you have opened so many new avenues for our youth. I mean, you might have even somebody opposing a challenger for your industry if they have heard this interview right. But that's okay, because you're only doing 75 hotels. There are still another 150 hotels left.
No, maybe more. No, I don't believe in that. You know, see, I want the youth to know one thing. Don't get worried about competitions or whether. You need to innovate yourself on a daily basis. You know, you get to get new technology. You got to be ahead of time. Serve the customer the best way, in the most transparent manner, that you give benefit. It should be beneficial to the customer, whatever service you're giving him. I don't think competition is an issue if you're the best.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that one word that you used initially when you started. You did a lot of research. Yeah. Now, research means reading. Now, one of the biggest problems in our youth facing today is they don't read. Yeah. And I do not know how we can get them to read and research properly. Can you give us some tips on that?
I think so. The youth today should read, but then they have an option not to use the paper. They have mobiles or they have their computers, because they are more savvy on technology. It's okay if they read it on the net too. You get so much of places that you need to get the information from. They can get various information, whatever suits them, they should put to use. But I don't have a problem with the youngsters. I know reading is our time. Reading was the most important thing. But today's kids, with the technology,
even if it is on your laptop, you still have to read it.
Yeah, you got to read it. So if you have to be an entrepreneur, you got to research, and you got to read and compile what you want to do.
Well, thank you so very much for coming here. We wish you greater success in your both your missions, the mission in your business and the mission to help our people who are having heart issues. Thank you a lot, and wish you the best.
Thank you so much. But before I end, I want to tell the youngsters,
please,
to keep the fire burning of being an entrepreneur. And today, being into business, your own business, you can get the satisfaction. Yes, initially it's difficult. You know, 9-to-5 job, you just work and you come back home. But I think so, when you get into business, this first 2 years is teething problems where you got to have a little trouble working hard. But I think so, down the line, it'll pay you. Maximum. And you got to do something back. If any entrepreneurs are interested in doing any of the projects which I'm doing, or even if it's the laundry, we can give them free of consultations.
There you are. You see, if you only decide that you want to get into the laundry business or any ancillary to that, all you have to do is go to Pilan, see his industrial estate there, his factory there, and talk to Mr. Lewis, and he will be happy to guide you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.